Hello everybody, my name's Miraculous, and today I'm going to focus mainly on one of the three principles, being mind, consciousness and thoughts, and I'm going to look at consciousness today. Now this afternoon I went swimming with my wife, and after we go swimming we go in the sauna, and what prompted this stuff on consciousness that I'm doing today is that I was sat on the top tier of the it's very hot on the top, and there's a middle and there's a lower part, and there's another bloke sat next to me, and he got down and he said, "Crikey, being at that top level is like being in another room." And I had to laugh because I thought, yes, it is. It's a world of difference up on the top tier as regards the heat, as against sat at the bottom or in the middle. And that immediately, to my mind anyway, I thought it's just like levels of consciousness. You can have low level of consciousness and high level of consciousness, and certainly at the high level, then like in the sauna when you're really sweating and you're at the top and you're getting the benefit, the health benefit. When you're at the low level, you get very little. And certainly as regards consciousness, when our consciousness, consciousness here is our awareness. When we are in a low state of consciousness, then we are aware of low conscious things, which can be anger, hatred, lack of forgiveness, mistrust, jealousy, insecurity. And that means our level of consciousness is in the pits. It's at the bottom, and basically when your head is in the trash bin, what do you expect to see? Because that's what you do see at low levels of consciousness. But that can happen with any of us. That's what it's all about. The nice thing is that when Sid Banks defined consciousness, he said it was divine consciousness. And there's a good reason for that, because first of all, the fact that we have awareness is a miracle, and the fact that we can have different levels of awareness from low consciousness to a higher consciousness through more awareness of what matters in life, then certainly that is divine. Now, what I mean, again, just to look at these high and low levels, let's take a higher level of consciousness, which is we're in, well, basically we are more aware of what is joyous, what is in the now, because we're really basically living life in the now. Whereas a low level of consciousness, we're often in the past or worried about the future. But being in the now, we are aware of, we're just aware of our beingness, just our okayness. And if we are okay in ourselves, and as I said, our thoughts aren't in the dustbin, then we can be quite joyous, we can be quite enjoying ourselves. And so those are the benefits of a high level of consciousness. And again, what I mean by that is that if you imagine fish swimming around in wherever they swim around, in Goldfish Bowl or in a river, they are not aware that they are swimming in water because their consciousness doesn't give them that gift. We have the gift of knowing what is going on around us to a good level of meaning. Certainly when we are in what I would call a high level of consciousness, so we're not in fear, we are in a high level of consciousness where we're okay with others and the world, so we're not looking for bogeymen or anything, then we just are okay. And when we are in that state, we emanate a good energy that helps others, and of course it's helping ourselves. And when we are with other people that are in that calm state of mind, their consciousness is raised to the extent that they can sense our okayness and we can sense theirs, and there is a human one-to-one connection of a oneness. So again, going back to the divineness or the miracle of consciousness, is that we, being open-minded and not so stuck up with our thoughts, we are aware of insights. We can see that we are, as Sid Banks was certainly had an insight, the fact that we have the gifts of mind, consciousness and thought. Now, going down to, I've talked about consciousness level from human to human, but in a way, again, why it's miraculous is our consciousness, that our consciousness impacts at the subatomic level, at the quantum level. Some people refer to it as the field. Sid Banks referred to it as the intelligence of life, or mind with capital M, and that intelligence has wisdom in it, and our consciousness can pick up on that field because it is part of that field. And just going back to what I said about the quantum level, subatomic level, when we observe that level, because there are scientists can do this, there are means to do that. The serious research has shown that our awareness of what is going on at that quantum level affects the quantum level. So what our awareness does, it affects the field. It affects this field of intelligence, and because that field is connected to everything, then it really means that our consciousness level is, that's why it's divine. It's across everything in time and space. And again, going back to the three principles of mind, consciousness and thought, they are before form. They are no form, because they are just, it is just energy which interacts with the energy of life. Now, when another aspect of our consciousness is that when our thoughts are off, so we are in bad thinking, upset thinking, and all of us do this. I do, you do, everybody. In other words, everybody, because we have mind, consciousness and thought, and our thoughts just come up unheralded. They can be good, as I've said, good, bad or indifferent, and when they're bad thoughts, because of the gas bill, because life getting at us and what have you, again, when I say this, it's that what I'm talking about, mind, consciousness and thought, comes from the inside, and all thoughts come from the inside. So it is what we think about the outside world that causes the outside world to appear to be what it is. And the reason we may think that things are off is because of our ego, because of our selfishness has been impinged, or things aren't going our way. Again, going back to consciousness being a wonderful thing, miraculous thing, is that when our thoughts are off, then we can sense that our feelings is a signal that because we feel things feel wrong, and that is, as we are aware that things aren't right because of the feeling that we've got. So it is a wonderful feedback system that we are conscious, we are aware that we are basically in thoughts that are not going to help us, and because of the principles we know that it is not helpful to take our thoughts seriously, because they are what we think, they are flimsy, they can come and go, and if we hold on to negative thoughts, then we're going to basically block holding on to any thoughts, you're going to block the flow of thought, which is what we're trying to encourage, because basically a good flow is good health. Now we are because of at the quantum level, the lowest level, and because at the human level of consciousness, what changes the world is the fact that when we are in a high level of consciousness, we're more open to insights, we're more open to more insightful thinking, as I've just said, more open to being compassionate and understanding, because that's the state that our mind's in. And when we operate at that level, then we are changed for the better in ourselves, and that's what changes the world for the better. So consciousness in itself is just it is a miracle. So I hope that's helped you. Thank you very much for listening. Take care.